Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Ian's Adventures with me, Ian Lawrence, once again in the great outdoors. Now these videos are dedicated to you. I could come out and do this on my own and enjoy it just as much, but I do enjoy your company and I want to bring you along so you can enjoy the bushcraft, the wild camping, the equipment, the locations, all the different bonkers stuff that I get up to. And while you're here, if you like what you see, please comment below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on all my videos. Now go down below and look and you'll see a bell. If you really like what I'm doing, then just hit the bell and you'll get notifications when new videos come up. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Thanks for thanks for stopping by. See you in a bit. Bye for now. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Ian's Adventures with me, Ian Lawrence, once again here in the great outdoors. And today we're basically going to be going down looking for some more tinder. This is a place where I frequent quite often, and I'm not going to let you know where it is. If you do, shh, keep it quiet. But I'm hoping to make something as well, but we'll go into that in greater detail. If I get time and if I get chance, we'll be making something. So we're going to head off down here and we're going to go in search of resin. We're going to be looking for the fir resin and maybe some other bits and bobs, maybe some fat wood and all that kind of stuff, because like it's shown at the beginning of the video, every now and again I'll just come out here into the outdoors and I'll collect it and I'll keep it and I'll store it and I dry it, and then when I need it I can use it. But I can also just basically come out here and collect it and use it at the same time if I wanted to. But for thousands of years people have been collecting tinder, they've been storing it and they're utilising it when they want it. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Okay, so as I'm walking through straight away from right up at the top of the tree, this has been dripping. This is resin. Okay, so I'm going to get my knife, so I'm going to start taking this away. Oh, that is if there's ever an addiction I could get involved in, this has got to be it. And it's a wonderful time of year to take this. Now I'm going to be careful not to damage the tree here. Now this is all fat wood in here. This is also, I'm careful not to damage the tree, and I'm just going to take it down there like that and collect that resin. And then the tree will start to create more resin to cover where I've been. Yeah? There we go. Look at that. Look at that. That's thick resin. It's going all the way down here. You can see it's wet through the resin. And yeah, anybody who knows in the know, it's going to take me some doing to get that off. Right, so now you're going to get to see why I bring this bag, because down here resin dropping onto the floor. It's all over. It's all over. So I'm going to collect it because I'm not always in a fir forest, so you get it while you can. Now just up there where these rocks are, I've just been trying to get some of this resin from underneath, and I've dropped a rock on my finger and I've crushed my nail. It'll be alright. This piece of wood here has fallen from the tree and it's jam packed with resin. That finger really pangs. That's really hurting. But it's one of them things. There you go. Can you see it? Hopefully you can see. This is a branch which has fallen to the ground and it's just jam packed full of resin. So I'm going to be taking some of that. Just got to be careful around yourself. I mean, I'm generally really careful, but sometimes accidents happen and not a lot you can do about it really. The other thing I like about this knife is I can get some real hammer. Lovely bits of sort of fat wood in there as well. Right, let's just clean, attempt to clean knife off. Might have to heat that up later. Yeah, I've crushed my nail. Proper crushed that nail. That's really hurting. Ah. Okay, you can see there that it's, whoops, See, they just pushed the nail into my finger, hit it on top and pushed nail in and clamped it on sort of your right hand side. So that's a bit sore, but right, I'm going to go and find something I can make a plaster with. Let's have a nosy about, shall we? Before we go, look at all that. That's all resin mixed in with bits of sticks and bark and stuff. That's why I carry that bag. Right, off we go again. Blood. Funny. Okay, so I've looked all over here and 95% of the time you'll find an offshoe fungus, but underneath here, look, I found these fungus here. Got them away. And on the back there's this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that back. I'm going to get myself some bramble and I'm going to make myself, oh, I'm going to get some of this licheny stuff on here, and I'm going to create, because this stuff, it's the stuff that you wipe your bottom with, but it's got antibacterial properties. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this, some down here which is better. Oh, start bleeding again. It's proper crushed across the top of my finger and also my nails bleeding at the same time. You see, you've got to be aware that these things can happen. I didn't bag on this happening. I've just come out to collect some tinder and stuff. But it's happened, so we've got some of this. I've got a first aid kit. But that's not what I'm here for. Oh, you know when you crush your finger, or you crush your toe, it's like a dull numb feeling. Let me just try and clean it off. Okay, so I'm going to take that back. Yeah, it's just a young horseshoe fungus, I think. So I'm going to take that back and let's have a play around. Okay, so we've got our, I think it's like, I can't remember the name of it, it's like a moss, this stuff. It's got antibacterial properties. Alright, I can clean that off a bit. I'm not worried about cleaning it too much because that blood itself, it's got antibodies in there. So we've got this. So what I'm going to try and do now is cut a slice of it. It's quite spongy. It's awkward. Right, so you can see there we've got that effect. So we've basically got a cover, haven't we? Alright, so I can put that to one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all this dirty stuff out. Yeah, so we've got that there, so that'll go on first. Yeah, which properties it's got. That'll go around the top of it to create a barrier. Yeah, and then I will use this bramble as a sort of sling tie. Just sort this out. That's it. Not the best plaster by any stretch of imagination, but it's got antibacterial properties. It's got a protective layer on top of it, and it's going to stay on, and that's the important thing. And I've got all that now. I can come back to if I need to renew it. Alright, it looks a bit tacky around corners and what have you, but end of the day it's just a plaster. Alright, there you go. That's all it is, and I can get on with what I'm doing now. Right, okay, so that's really better. You can never tell when something like that's going to happen. You know what, that's secure, it's not going to fall off, and it's giving me padding. If it were a coat, I'd be wanting just to stop the bleeding, etc., and just to, you know, protect it. But because it's a crush, I wanted to put quite a lot of wadding in there to make sure that it wasn't going to get crushed anymore. So it's all good. You've got to be really careful with stuff like that, but you've also got to be ready to deal with it when it happens. And I've got a first aid kit, but luckily I can get this done. So the idea here is to make a stool. So we'll get back on track. But I can see a piece of wood I'm interested in. A lot of people will get, you know, the round end of a piece of wood and cut through it. But if you ain't got a big saw, I mean, I've got my saw in my bag, but I don't want to use a saw, I want to use my axe. So if I get the axe, I'll show you what I mean. A lot of people might see that as just a bit of rotten or wood, yeah, and by all intents and purposes it is, but if I take all this, all these wood lice, you know, I found out the other day, the other half told me, I don't know if she's winding me up, but I found out that wood lice aren't actually insects, they're actually sea creatures related to prawns, I think it is. I thought that was awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna process that down, but I'm not gonna hit the wood lice. So I'll just go and get my axe and we'll sort that out, yeah? Read up about that wood louse thing and let me know what you think. Bonkers. So all I'm doing here is just cleaning all this rot off, because inside there going to be some good wood. And the thing I like about this knife is, because it's just an old spanner, it's tough as houses, and I can use it as a wedge. All I want, and it just seems to keep an edge on it. Okay, so I'm guessing on the grain a bit here. So I'm looking at it, I've seen the grains going that way. I'm hoping there's not a knot in the middle of it. Take this. I love this coat, by the way. Yes, the one I got from the Aerosmith is going to be used most of the time, but sometimes I like to come out and just have recoloured it and etc. So it's wet, but see, I've got my legs wide apart because you've got major arteries running down the front of your leg. You really don't want to be eating them. All right, okay, I can see where that's going. Right, okay. Right, and I get through that and I'll come back to you. Okay, so we've got all that off. I'm doing that, it's going around, shaping a bit. You'll notice I've got two axes. Got this one, another one. Can't remember the name of it, but this one's got a slightly longer reach. So it allows me to reach out there a little bit better. I'm also very wet in my hand. That'd be silly not to, wouldn't it? So it's a little bit of a coggly woodly shape, a bit strange. Some of that rotten stuff off the back, and it is wet, it'll dry out eventually. I don't know about you, but that to me, it's like a bit of a stooly shape, doesn't it? Stooly shape, that's what it is. So now we need to go and get some more bits of stool, don't we? Let's clean that off. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we've come back here to a place where I got wood before. I can't exactly remember what I got it for. I know I collected some fat wood from here, so there's a good chance there's some fat wood still in here. So look, I'll get that in a minute, but from what I can tell there's fat wood down here as well. So yep, some more fat wood down here as well. So what I'm going to do is there's this piece here, there's a piece over there, in fact this is probably a better piece. This is a piece I chopped before, and I don't want too long. Problem with this is that it normally goes out straight and bends off, as it's a fir tree. So if I just take it from there, so I've got that bit there to about there. So I don't want these legs to be too long, do I? It's only a little stool. Come on. There we go. Oh, it's fairly dry, that. We've got one there, and I can shape that down to the size that I want. So I've got the nice dry stuff inside, rather than picking thinner branches and having the damp on the outside. So that's one. Okay, so I've got me 3 pieces of wood. I'm going to take these now over there and start trimming them down. Right, okay, so now we've got the seat piece. Stick it in. Hot wood was just wet through. And we've got some legs. Now the interesting bit with this is going to be trying to cut into wet pine. So yeah, I've got to try and get into this. So I need to mark out where I'm going, which will probably be about there. Oh, that's just sudden. That's there. Just about there. Okay, and just say about there. Now this ain't going to be the prettiest, because I'm doing this, water's coming out at work. It's certainly not going to be the prettiest thing in the world, but it'll be a thing. Yeah? Yeah, it's also a mallet, a chisel. So guys and gals, wish me luck. But I want to show you this. Obviously I'm not going to go all the way through. Yeah, this is wet wood, it's damp. And anybody who's in the know will know that working with wet wood is a bit of pain. Simply because of the elasticity of it. It just don't want to go, it's too much friction, etc, etc. So because it's an old chisel, get the idea, I wouldn't advise doing this with a mortar. It won't. Some of the big survival knives will probably do it, but this was designed in essence to be a chisel. Not a chisel, it wasn't meant to be a chisel, it meant to be a spanner. Yeah. And it still makes feather sticks. I've just leathered it through a lump of wet wood and it still makes feather sticks. That's mad. And that's wet wood. I'm picking feather sticks out of wet wood and all. That's something else. I love this thing. Oh, that's horrible and slippy and nasty. Yeah. But you get the idea, don't you? It's still working, isn't it? It's just gone through that. Oh well, onward and onward, next one. All I'm doing, I've got my hole there, look, and I'm just gonna always make sure if you're using this, because it's got this bevel on back, so I can literally, oh wait, are you over there? I can literally use it as an hammer or a mallet, and it don't matter that it's steel. If I'm hitting it, water's coming out. So, as long as I'm aware of that edge, I'm good. So my knife I use for bushcraft and fine carving, I can now use as a chisel, no problem. Put in the comments if your knife will do that, and if so, what knife is it? I'm genuinely interested. You'll see I'm always pointing the head or the blade of the knife away from me. Yeah, I'm whacking that, and it's not even bothered. You follow me? So I can just start burrowing down. And that's going to start coming out now. There she goes. Like I say, it's wet through this wood, absolutely drenched. And and it's thick. Look how thick that is. Love this, love this, love it. Don't think this is going to be a short video at all. I think it's come down, oh, it's been chopped down obviously by some kind of either landowner or forestry commission or something like that. You see, it's just taken it out like a chisel. This is why I always say I like my tools, my bushcraft tools, to be more or less bulletproof, because this is what I do to them. And the other knives, they just can't do this. So I like to make myself one. Okay, so we've got us 3 holes. 1, 2 and 3. That one's gone through it slightly. I've gone a bit deep on that, got a bit zealous. So I'm going to do an eyes on to trim these down to make them into legs. And then I'll trim them all up and blah de blah de blah. All exciting. I love this. I love just playing it. Always make sure you put it like that, you put in your pocket. Okay guys, again, watch your legs, watch your hands. See, with this I can get really close up onto axe. I'm going to trim these up and we'll go from there. A lot of people won't work with wet wood. It's just an awkward devil to work with. So there you go. When I've been doing it, it's been creating these like rather square shapes. So I'm squaring these off on edges, on ends, and then from there I can just tap that away. But not just yet. Got these 2 to do yet. Ba-boom. Next. Alright, I weren't going to go through. There's different ways of doing this. I wasn't going to go through it, but I have. Because there's a way of doing this. I'll just show you. I can remember which goes where. So you get one there like that. What's the other way, I think? Well, that's still got bits of stick on it. I better clean that one up first, but that one goes like that. That's going to want tidying up a bit. Bear with me. It's never going to be all pretty about what I do. If I'm doing all like this, if I'm making a seat, it's not going to be a pretty seat. It's going to be rough and ready, and it's liable to be bramble holes in me and crushing me and bits and bobs. And none of my tools are pretty when I'm out here now, because I just want to get on with it. So there you go. So what I'm going to do now, after I've cleaned that up, I'll come back to you and knot them in and secure them. So you end up with these 3 lumps of wood stuck in another piece of wood. Nothing glamorous. I need that piece of wood to go well into that other piece of wood. Could really do with using a bit of lump of wood to the this so I don't damage ends up bits, but I'll be trimming them down anyway. If they're getting well and truly jammed in there, just going to trim edge of that out a bit. Better like that. And what I'm doing now, then I get some wood and pin them apart from each other, so I need to make an indentation in each one of them and pin it on the outside. Okay, right, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but it's done. Ooh, a minute, probably best off other way around so we've got a bit of light on subject. So set that up like that. So obviously it's been done with an axe and me homemade knife. So let's have a look. What do you think? It's a stool. It is what it is. Basically 3 pieces of wood put through this piece of wood, which appeared to be rotten to start with, but it's alright inside. Still damp. Wood comes down, I've trimmed it off with the axe, made some holes in here, made some cross poles, and then because these legs go through, and I've trimmed them off at the top so they go all the way through the wood, I can pull them outwards and it jams it and then holds it in place with these little pieces here. So just come around so I can see if you can see. Do you see that? So there you go. A little flat backed stool. Cracking. Hang on. Well, I'm expecting my tripod falling backwards. There you go. It feels solid. I'm not going to change it. I'm not doing up with it. I'm not going to titivate it. Make it a lot. What I make when I'm out and about is, oh, you can't tell how dark it is. It's getting quite dark. I get carried away. The things that I make are rough around the edges. They're made for a reason, and that reason only. I don't care what things necessarily look like, to a degree. There's many, look online, there's lots and lots of different ways you can make stools. This is my favourite because it's a tension system. So the woods, these pieces of fir tree branches are going, it's off deadfall, you saw that, goes through this piece of wood. It's pine basically, isn't it? So it goes through and then it's pulled out, and the friction inside there holds it in place with these pegs. And I don't want it, I'll not change it. Things that I make when I'm out and about are just required for purpose. My cooks, that looked quite nice actually, but I've made some other ones which, you know, they're sort of a bit rough and ready. My spoons, rough and ready. I don't titivate things, I don't put patterns and designs on them. That is a stool, taking that up, it's going to go in Magic Shed, and it's a memory, it's an adventure we got out, didn't we? My knife's still sharp, my axe is still sharp, and I'm happy. I wanted to get a cup of coffee, but I'm going to have to get back, I've got things to do. I'm just going to go and get some pine, what's it call them? Anyway, off at trees. My memory is horrendous. And I'm going to make a cup of tea out of it, but I just don't have time. I've got to get back now. I'm lucky I'm getting out at the minute.